The rain was pouring when the single father opened his door. Two little girls stood shivering. No shoes, no umbrella, only fear in their eyes. He had no idea who they were, no clue where their mother was, but he knew one thing: he couldn't turn them away. What he didn't know was that their mother was a millionaire watching from the shadows. Before we start today's story, leave a comment below and let us know which city you're watching from. And at the end, don't forget to rate it from 0 to 10. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. The storm raged as if the sky itself wanted to test his heart. On a night when most doors stayed locked, a single father's hand hesitated only for a moment before pulling it open. Two little girls, twins no older than 7, stood trembling on his porch. Their dresses were soaked through, their hair clung to their pale cheeks, and their eyes carried a terror no child should bear. He bent down, meeting their gaze. "You're safe here," he whispered, though he had no reason to say it. He didn't know their names, their story, or why they appeared at his door. But he knew the weight of loneliness. He knew the sting of being left in the rain. Inside his small home, the warmth of the fireplace fought against the storm. He gave them blankets, hot soup, and the silence of a man who had learned that words often fail where kindness begins. This man, Daniel, was no stranger to hardship. A former soldier, he carried invisible scars. Nights haunted by echoes of battles. Mornings filled with the quiet labor of raising his son alone. His wife had been taken by illness, and in her absence, Daniel had built his life around one vow: never let another soul feel abandoned under his roof. The twins watched him carefully, their little hands clutching the spoons he had given them. Trust came slowly, but hunger softened fear. They ate, they warmed, they leaned against each other and slowly drifted into sleep on his couch. Yet even as the storm outside began to ease, Daniel sensed something deeper. Their clothes, though soaked, had once been expensive. Their shoes, worn, but once finely made. They weren't children of the streets. They were children who had been lost. As dawn broke, a knock echoed at the door. Neighbors whispered, outside, curious about the strange children seen entering his home. Judgment hung in the air like smoke. Some looked at him with suspicion, others with silent criticism. Yet Daniel stood firm. He needed shelter. He said simply, "No more, no less." Bystanders turned away, muttering. But his silence carried more weight than their words. One man spat, "You should have called someone, not taken them in." Daniel's eyes, weary, yet unbroken, lifted just enough to meet his accuser's gaze. "If I had left them outside, what would that have made me?" The crowd fell into uneasy silence. His quiet dignity became louder than their doubts. Then the unexpected twist revealed itself. A black car pulled up at the edge of the street. From it stepped a woman, dressed with the grace of wealth. Her eyes, though framed by luxury, carried the desperation of a mother who had been searching through the storm. She ran to the twins, who woke at the sound of her voice. The bystanders froze. Their whispers turned to shock as the truth unfolded. This was no ordinary mother. She was a woman of great fortune, her face familiar to many from magazines and business news. But here she was, on a humble street, falling to her knees, tears mixing with rain as she embraced her daughters. She looked up at Daniel, words trembling on her lips. "I sent them away for one night, to test the world, to see if kindness still lived in strangers. And you," her voice broke, "you proved it does." The silence deepened. All those who had doubted him now stood in quiet shame. Daniel said nothing. His eyes held only the calm of a man who needed no recognition. The woman pressed something into his hand, not money, but a simple card with her number. "If you ever need anything, for your son, for yourself, my door will never be closed to you." The crowd lowered their heads. In that moment, Daniel's silence became an unshakable truth. Real wealth is measured not in gold, but in the lives we shelter. The twins waved goodbye, smiling now with the safety of their mother's embrace. The car drove away, leaving behind a neighborhood that would never again question the quiet strength of a single father. And as Daniel closed his door, his son stirred awake upstairs. Another day had begun, another vow silently renewed. Kindness is often unseen, unspoken, and unrewarded, yet it is the light that guides us through storms. What do you think matters most in this world? Money or the courage to open your door when others turn away? Share your thoughts in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. For more stories that honor silent heroes, subscribe and stay with us.